Okay, we are live. Welcome to Toaru podcast number 13. Unlucky for some, but not for us today, even though we are going back in time to the cursed timeline of our past. Very mysterious, I know. But yeah, hope you all having a nice day. I've got a few announcements to make. We are joined by Malcolm and Style, and maybe Kairaz if he stops playing Final Fantasy and grinding some weird animals probably to level up his characters. Just why? But anyway, we are, as you can tell, Toaru podcast has been pimped up a bit. We have had custom thumbnails finally. The reason why it took so long is because we were trying to get an artist to do it, but it was just delays. But yeah, now we've got two artists who have done the thumbnails. We've got a new thumbnail style on the old episodes of the podcast, which are done by Ebora. So thank you, Ebora, for that. And the current one, which we are using for this video, is done by Hannibal Studio. So thank you very much. And it features myself and, of course, Malcolm's class. Is it? Wait, what character is it? Is it classroom?
Male student B.
Thank you. Male student B in Fiamma's outfit. He definitely got an upgrade. He became super overpowered, just like Shaggy.
Correct.
But yeah, I thought it'd be good to include the both of us on that one because we are the two who have been here since the beginning.
Correct.
Yes. What is the other announcement I had? Oh yes, I remember. I have made a second channel, which is breaking news because I've not announced this anywhere. Yes, well, there's on the flip side, there's nothing on it. There's absolutely nothing there. It's a wasteland. But there will be stuff there soon. But the link to my second channel is in the description, and it is called Aeon of Osiris. Who would have thought? What a... Did you say cringe?
No, not at all.
Bruh. How dare you?
Oof.
You see... I studied the ways of Aleister Crowley.
I'm basically Aleister Crowley in real life.
How is that not? How is that cringe?
You know.
Style was just stumped for words there. He was like...
Did you send out the tweet to let everyone know?
Sounds like Style was trying to summon kind of a sex demon.
Sex magic!
Just those noises, like what? Oh, I sent out a tweet. Did I? No, I didn't. I sent out a Discord, but I will send out a tweet as I speak because that is quite easy to do. If I can actually find a link to this fun podcast. Here we go. Also, like this video if you enjoy the podcast. That would be a massive help. We are live indeed. Hello, Twitter. There we go. Okay. So, yeah. So, what will be on the second channel? VODs of future Toaru podcast episodes will be on the second channel. So, you can catch the streams here live, but once the stream is over, I will delete the video on my main channel and then upload the VOD onto my second channel, if that makes sense. I hope it does. And if I do any other live streams, similar stuff to that, or similar stuff to the podcast, then obviously the same will apply there. But yeah, I definitely want to start streaming more. It's just that I don't have the best camera in the world. You can probably figure that out from my recent video, which I made in the flesh. But I definitely want to get an upgrade for that in the foreseeable future. Oh, Zarm's in the chat. Let's go, Zarm. Nice to see you as always. Hey, boss.
This is just stage one of Aaron. This is just version 1 of YouTuberness, and eventually it will grow.
Mate, why do you keep calling me Aaron or Aaron?
Aaron, what do you call yourself?
Why is there an R in my name? Style, you've not bespoken the burning bush again, have you?
No.
I don't believe you.
Sounds innocent to me.
Yeah, man.
It's like when a child is lying. It's like, no. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? I kind of talked about it already briefly, but if you are just joining the podcast, make sure to like the video so other people can find us, because that is very important. So smash that like button and subscribe to the second channel down in the description. I've already talked about that. So yes, without further ado, what are we doing today? Hello in the chat. We are going to talk about the origins of, I don't know, what is the origins? Like, I would say of us, but not really.
Our introductions into the greater Toaru fandom.
That sounds better on paper. But yeah, it's like basically how the three of us know each other. It would be 4 if Kairaz stopped playing Final Fantasy. Is he still playing Final Fantasy?
Yes.
He is. Fuck's sake. Pardon my language. Why is he missing the event of the month? Like, this isn't even a GT Toaru podcast. This is a full podcast, if you get what I mean. And yet he's standing Final Fantasy. Disgraceful. But yeah, we are going to talk about a legendary in terms of how shit it is, social media platform. All right, it wasn't all bad. There were some good things about it, but it was
there were
inherently flawed. Yeah, it's called. You might be familiar with this, but it's called Amino. And who would like to talk about Amino? Because I've done enough talking.
Amino is such an interesting platform in that it really shouldn't exist, because like everything about it is really bad. It's like lesser Discord with like wallpapers. It's interesting because there used to be ads from YouTubers all the times about Amino. It was like the most advertised social media platform, and it was very much designed to attract audiences who are like super into the fandoms, like the kinds you would see on Tumblr for like Hitalia or what was that one webcomic?
Webcomic.
It was like this really popular webcomic with everybody was into. It had some like flash animation stuff too. I can't even remember the name of it. I just remember the fandom was really, really cringy. They would like spit into buckets, and it was just the weirdest thing. Homestuck. It was called Homestuck. It attracted oh, he's gone again.
Oh god damn it, Style. Style is just not on planet Earth right now. I don't know where he's at.
Homestuck was it was a very popular web series some years ago. It had a very interesting fan base. I had one of those more like either cringe or toxic fan bases. And it sort of died down after what was that other game? I can't ever remember the names of any of these things. The game where the girl or the protagonist falls down the hole and gets found by the goat woman.
Hell?
What?
Yeah. No, it's super popular.
Sounds like a weird version of Alice in Wonderland or like
you'll know it. You've got to know what it is because
I've probably heard of it, but I don't know anything about it.
Because oh my gosh, why am I so bad at this?
Maybe chat can help out. Chat, what series is he talking about?
Made by Toby Fox. That's the game designer.
Or maybe chat is just like doesn't have a clue either.
Toby Fox. Inspired by Earthbound, Shin Megami Tensei, Undertale.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that game. I never played
it. Yeah. No, same.
Yeah. Okay, so it was Undertale is like the biggest game. It was so like series like Homestuck, Undertale, FNAF, that get the really weird fandoms that usually make you not want to join their fandom. Amino was sort of dedicated to those kinds of fandoms that you would like find on Tumblr, but more echo chambered, I guess.
Yeah. Style, what was your experience with amino? Just
Um,
don't go into too much detail, but yeah, just like summarize.
Very bizarre, but in a way that was fulfilling on my end, because I was during a time where I was, I didn't much people to talk about anime, and obviously there was a few YouTubers at the time, as Malcolm said, that they were advertising. So I thought, oh, I'll give this a go, you know, talk about my stuff and things that I like to watch, which never happened, by the way. I never joined any group chats. I was just too nervous and shy. So it's been good, but it's also been bad. But mainly good on my end, purely for the fact of I was able to share about so much about Toaru, and obviously at the time there was still quite people on the platform itself. So I was able to, just knowing that I can spread out, like, hey, come check out this series. It's actually really good. So I think that's the best part about Amino, is get to put the word out. But obviously, on the downside, you're going to be meeting some very, very interesting people, to say the least.
Yeah, it's certainly a mixed bag. Like, yeah, like you said, it's good for meeting people in quite a niche community, whatever you're into, because it did like later expand. Initially, it was only a few communities.
Yeah, because
But yeah, I think I discovered it by a YouTuber, I think, as well, because I think they were just like getting as many YouTubers as they could to advertise it.
Yeah, you couldn't escape it.
Yeah. But yeah, there was just like so much wrong on the platform in terms of like the moderation, just the things you'd find on there, like just the absolute degeneracy, like how young people were as well when they were using it, and those notorious fandoms that Malcolm's just named. It just turned into a really weird place.
Very toxic, for depending on the fandom.
Very.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, like Malcolm, were you around like the anime amino days, or were you just like later
Not on anime amino? Funny enough, and I'll probably get into it later, I'm probably both one of the oldest and one of the, like, a much later member of the Toaru amino. It's an interesting history. Well, not really that interesting, but I don't even think you know about it.
It's interesting enough to make a podcast about it,
Yeah.
because as you said, it is history, and history must be studied extensively. Even weird, bizarre history that should not always be talked about. I mean, it's all right. Okay, we'll get into it, but I'm sure people will be curious to learn about how a small, well, interesting corner of the Toaru fandom got together and how Toaru Amino was born. But yeah, we'll start at the beginning. So that means, Malcolm, you won't have much to say in this section, but you will later on.
Yes.
So as we me and Style, since Kairaz has just forgotten about us. Is he even alive? What is he doing?
I'll add him once.
Just spam at him, because I've done it once already. Just say, stop smacking Tifa's ass, and stop playing that Final Fantasy weeb game. But yeah, okay. So yeah, when I joined Amino, I think I was like 16 or something, or 17. And that's when I was like just about getting into anime, well, and Toaru, like properly, like during my weeb phase. Everyone has a weeb phase, or is it just me? I don't know. I just became really obsessed with anime at that time. Like, I was an embarrassment of a human being at that time. Like, I'd go to like school just wearing like an anime t-shirt, an anime bag, an anime ring, an anime necklace. Like,
your Hatsune Miku body pillow.
Yeah, and I had a Hatsune Miku body pillow. Okay. So I was obsessed with Hatsune Miku. She was my wife at the time. I don't have her anymore. Okay, I've grown up. The phase is over.
Now he just cross-dresses as Mazaka Makoto.
All right, that was an exception. That was not that was not of my free will. But yeah, I mean, I was like really desperate at this convention to get Hatsune Miku body pillow. No, it wasn't an indecent one. Okay,
Supposedly.
it was a properly dressed one. Disclaimer. So I literally had like no cash on me, and I had to like run to like the nearest ATM because I was that desperate to buy it. And it was one of these ATMs at the conventions where you got to pay money to actually withdraw from the ATM. But I did it anyway because I wanted the body pillow that badly. And I think I went to my overdraft to get it as well. So this is the state of a human being I was when I was 16. Just someone just completely socially awkward. Like, I had literally no confidence back then at all. But yeah, so I was like attracted to Amino because it's like, oh yeah, I can be weird and stuff. I can talk to our
my
fans.
kind.
Yeah. Anyway, time passes a bit, and I get into contact with a few users on this platform, which led me to Style, and we formed like a Toaru group chat. Would you like to share your experience of this group chat, Style?
Oh, it was weird, but brilliant.
Details, man.
So, I remember when it was both me, you, Krios, and Goddess, and I think I got into it because I was on the Amino app. I was making character introduction blogs for the Index series. I think that's how I got in. But then since we joined that chat, it's been more. We talked quite a lot about Index, and there was quite a lot of in-depth discussions about it, and that I remember. And looking back at it, I was like, I didn't really talk much about in-depth because I only just watched the anime at the time, where all you three had already read like most of the novel at the time. And then the weird part, the weirdest part we got was role playing. This was introduced.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Everyone's worst nightmare. Social media, like Tumblr-esque roleplay.
Yeah. This. Oh man, like this is one of those things where you look back, you're just like, oh, I just accept it. I was young, but yeah,
you're just like, why?
Much... Yeah.
See, this is the cursed podcast. This is why this is number 13. Like, this is the cursed history. But yeah, do you want to talk more about the RP, or shall I talk about it?
Oh, I got to hear about this.
Yeah, so it's up to you, Style. Shall I do it, or you can talk about it if you want? Style.
Oh, he's gonna disappear again. Oh no.
Style has,
okay.
Oh,
okay.
He's back. Did you hear what I was saying, Style?
Yeah, I had no idea what was going on there.
Yeah.
So there was not a story foundation. There was nothing that went on, and I vaguely remember the characters that we were portraying. You at the time was so engrossed with Accelerator, and I remember in your bio. I remember in your bio you said, "I embody him."
Oh no! This is exactly how
I am a skinny albino kid who likes to murder clones, who cackles like a hyena. Yes, I am.
Yeah. It was so funny. No, I remember.
Yeah. Gosh, you were in high school when you did this?
Not technically, because the UK is weird. So in the UK, you leave high school when you're 16. I know I said I was like 16, 17 at this time, but this was after I left. But then you join what's called college, which isn't the US version of college.
No,
so
completely
yeah,
different.
So like, college in the UK is like the last 2 years of high school in the US. So you go there. It can also be called sixth form, which is like the better version of college in the UK, which is called sixth form. But yeah, you go there for 2 years, and then you go to university, which is, you know, college as you Americans will know it.
So it's like the pre-K version of college.
Yeah. So yeah, I was basically there.
Okay, that's even worse.
But you don't understand. Like I've already talked somewhat about this. I was really awkward.
Don't worry.
I mean,
you're
when
an
I was
anime
17,
fan, so
no, but when it was like during the intermission period when I was 17, where I actually started to make more friends and stuff, and I toned back the weeb and the social awkwardness by
becoming a normal person,
a fundamental amount. Yeah, and yeah, I managed to not be such a. I mean, I was still weird, but I wasn't as weird as I was back then. But yeah, I was like as Sal was saying, like, or even as I've said in my Q&A, which is, you know, been recent. I basically only really liked Accelerator out of Index, but I loved Accelerator. Like, but then I started to read the novels, and I started to, you know, fall in love with the series overall. Accelerator is still my favorite character.
Did you start reading the novels before or after you started the Toaru amino?
Oh, that was before.
Okay.
Yeah, that was way before. But yeah. So I was literally called like Accelerator on Anime Amino. It was literally
you were for a while.
Yeah. And I cosplayed as Accelerator as well. I've done that a number of times. But yeah, I was just really obsessed with Accelerator. Like, I thought he was just a really well-written character, and I just liked his vibe.
To the point you started drinking his own drink.
Oh yeah. Do you still have that video up? You had.
I do. Yeah, that's like the most expensive coffee I've ever had.
That's like the oldest video on your channel, I think.
Yeah, because I removed I've unlisted some of like my old Halo videos, which aren't really relevant to my channel, but I've, you know, left all the Index and Railgun content. So yeah, you also get a glimpse of like some of like my weeb collection in the corner in that video as well. You can see like some of the stuff I had. But yeah, I mean, I was just completely just awkward with Accelerator. I don't know. But yeah,
I mean, I think you role played him okay, I suppose.
Yeah,
but it was trying to get you to do something though, because I remember you were just walking around and you were playing. I remember you were playing as. Once you played as Last Order, then you played as Fiyama.
Wait, really?
And you were sort of having your own thing.
Last Order?
And then you did Alistair at one point as well.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was the precursor. That was the precursor for the greatness later on. Oh yeah, I remember what I was talking about, because I was like trying to go through a train of thought there. Yeah, so that coffee which I ordered, like those are like the cans you can get at, is it Tachikawa City? So you can get them. You can go to that city. That's like where Academy City is based off in Tokyo. It's like a Tokyo prefecture. So you can go there, and they've got like Toaru vending machines across this district of Tokyo.
Sick.
Yeah, and you can get like Toaru drinks and stuff. You can get like they're called the weird drinks or the weird juices. So that's like the drinks that Mikoto drinks. But you can also get like Accelerator coffee as well. So it's like Accelerator's, you know, black, no sugar, no milk coffee. So yeah, I ordered that, but I got it off like a Japanese auction site. And this has never happened before as well, or after I should say, because I've ordered off Japanese auction sites after for like different Toaru merc that you can't really get anywhere else. And for some reason, I guess it might have been because it was a drink. That might be why. But yeah, I had to pay like export charges or import charges for it. Like, so it cost like even more than like the postage, all the way from Japan. Then I had to pay even more just to get it to my house. Like,
wow.
it was ridiculous amount of money I spent on that coffee. Because it must have cost them like absolutely nothing to get it out of vending machine in Japan, I'm sure. Meanwhile, I'm paying like so much to get it, like, I don't know, like $60 or something.
Oh man.
I'm trying to like work the math to convert the pounds to dollars, but yeah, probably something about that.
Man.
So that's dedication to the cause.
Have you still got the can?
Oh yeah, I do. I haven't thrown them away. Yeah, they're still in storage somewhere. I can't remember what I've done with them, but yeah. Hopefully my mum hasn't thrown them away while I've been away. Because I literally, like, most of my Toaru merc is still at my family home.
Ah.
I haven't moved it all with me to my current home.
All right. So you were all role playing. What happens next in this story?
I
remember
it was. Wait, was there?
Was that later on? I can't remember.
All good stories need drama.
I mean, it was drama with like one of the users and me, but it didn't really concern Style. I mean, I don't think Style was even aware of it, but yeah, because there was
I
one
wasn't.
There was one person who joined who I won't name them just for like privacy reasons, because their like username is also their like real name. Yeah, we'll just call them Saturn. You know Saturn, right, Style? Or remember her?
No.
You know who I'm talking about?
No,
Is this
I'm
the
thinking.
first love interest of the story?
I can't
okay.
remember. I can only
You can't
remember.
Okay, fair. You probably
Yeah.
do know. You probably do know her, but I'm just not naming her because it's a privacy issue. I don't want to.
No, I even forgot her name as well.
Yeah. I can tell you in the private chat. To be fair, I'll do that.
Mm.
You know how to access the private chat on here?
Oh yes.
Yeah, you
I
know her.
remember.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
remember.
well,
I remember now.
yeah. I just don't want to name her because she uses her real name as a username, which is like fair enough. But yeah, this person. So this person who was like, she was also like really obsessed with Accelerator. She was like one of those Accelerator fangirls, and she also really liked Saturn. So yeah, she basically just had Saturn profile picture and everything. But yeah, me and her got really close, and yeah, we ended up dating for a bit.
Oh no.
And it was late. Like anyway, fast forward because we don't want to talk about all that. But yeah, and she actually like started like messaging like one of the other people in the chat like after we broke up or something, like trying to hook up with him or something. And then she also like said that she never like cared about me or anything. And she told him that my jokes were like cringe or something.
Is it true?
No, because this guy sent me like all this information.
But were your jokes cringe?
Okay, so she's all right. Okay, so she said to me once.
Thank you, lady Yoruichi-chan.
Oh yes, thank you very much. That's very generous super chat. Thank you, Yoru. I'm sorry it couldn't be more. I just gifted my friend a lunar whale in Final Fantasy 14. Why is everyone playing Final Fantasy 14? Maybe your friend is playing Kairaz, or maybe your friend is Kairaz. This is a conspiracy. It's a Final Fantasy 14 conspiracy. We need to ban the game at this point. But yeah.
Agreed.
Thank you very much. Where was I again?
Your cringe jokes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because the joke she didn't like because she said, his jokes are like so bad or something. But it wasn't. It was just like a dad joke. It was like she said she was like an old soul, and I was like, you're not a grandma yet, are you? Something like that. Like it was just like a stupid joke, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, joke was so bad." And I was like, "Okay, then, calm down."
Wow.
But yeah, my humor. I think I was 18 then, so my 18-year-old humor was not up to scratch. Can't make fun of her personality.
Tragic.
Yeah. Death Wish. But yeah, that was interesting.
All right, so she starts hitting on your friend.
Yeah. And then he's just like, he basically just messaged me this afterwards. But I don't know like the full story, what happened between them. Because there is a bit of conspiracy around that. Whether he actually sent it exactly the moment it happened, but I do recall that he actually sent it like a couple months afterwards. Which is like,
Oh, while y'all were dating?
oh. No, this was after we broke up.
Okay.
But still, it was like a brutal moment where it was like, she said something like, "I used him to get over my ex" or something. Bro, how cruel.
Man, there's something pitiful about that in and of itself for her.
I mean,
too,
she was older than me, so I was like barely an adult. I was just like 18, and she was like in her 20s. So
man.
yeah, it's a lesson learned. Yeah, gullible boy, but it was an experience, and we have all been gullible at some point. I'm sure we have all learned, and that was a long time ago. That was 6 years ago. So saying that makes me feel old.
Yeah.
Back in my day.
Just thinking. Back in my day, we used to do this, and we had no electricity.
We walked around with our top hats and canes. We went to the college and then the
Back
pub.
in my day, there wasn't any anime amino. You met people in real life at the pub.
All right, so
But
what
yeah.
happens next in this story?
Then it was just like, I don't know. When did I make Toaru Amino? I think it was like a year afterwards, maybe. I can't remember the exact moment I made it.
I think it was between 2018, I believe, because that's when it started to expand. So I remember I joined in 2016, and I was there for there for the 2 years, and then I went on a bit of a hiatus.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think I made it. Well, eventually, like, Amino gave you the choice to create your own Amino, so no longer did you have to spend all the time in the hell of Anime Amino, where it was just role playing constantly. And yes, we did grow out role playing. Luckily, yes, it was stopped. I mean, at least it wasn't one of those 18 plus role plays. That weren't always 18 plus on Amino, because let's face it, how many adults are actually on Anime Amino back in the day? I don't know. Probably not many.
Oh no.
It was really shady. Like, it was really messed up at times. Like, there was like literally one time where, like, I don't know if it was like the person who was actually featured in this post who made it, but there's literally a post of like someone just like have like nudes everywhere and just like holding up messages saying that they want to kill themselves and stuff like that. It was really messed up. That was like the worst thing I ever saw on there. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, so it did get quite bad. But yeah. Anyway, happier times. Let's talk about Toaru Amino. So yes, I come up with an ingenious plan to create my own community of Toaru fans. So yes, I am the creator of Toaru Amino. Spoiler alert. Woo! So yeah, we got the boys on there and the girls. We got everyone on there who was interested in the community. and we eventually became the biggest index and railgun amino on amino. How impressive is that? Like that's world records right there. What an achievement. That's one of my proudest achievements in life. But nothing lasts forever, of course. But we'll get onto that later. Malcolm, this is where you can come in because we have, labored on about stuff about you. So,
all right. Well, I had an early amino account back whenever it was like first getting advertised, and I was like, okay, I'll check it out. I joined a few communities. There was like an Earthbound community I joined, Shin Megami Tensei community. And one of those was the Toaru amino, and it was yours. And then like I stopped using amino after 2 days because it was just, I thought it was like the worst thing. It flooded you with notifications and the app was terribly optimized. So I was just like, I'm done with this. So I stopped using it. And then a couple years later, I was bored and I was watching, so like, let me go back a bit further. So as I've mentioned before on the podcast, probably more times than necessary, I've been part of the fandom, I've been part of the Toaru fandom since very early on, back whenever the anime first got its fan subs, because it didn't get the Funimation subs and dubs until much later. So late 2008. And there was no like fandom proper. There were some manga forums. You could find some forums that talked about Toaru, and that's how I discovered Bakatsuki, and was able to read it. And whenever I was reading it, it was before NT even came out. But there was like no proper fandom. So once you get like bored of forums, or the forums stopped, these forums sort of died out mostly as more social medias started popping up. I sort of just like, I didn't really look for the index fandom because I didn't think it existed really, because for the most part it didn't for many years, until probably it didn't really blow up until probably after the Othinus arc and NT, I would say. So I would periodically check YouTube for any Toaru videos. And one day I came across a Kamijo Toma character analysis. And I watched it. And it was only about a month old, I think, whenever I watched it or something. But I watched it and I was like, oh, hey, cool. And then they mentioned, by the way, I created a Toaru amino. And sure enough, this Kamijo Toma character analysis was none other than Aeon of Horus. And so I was like, oh, the Toaru amino is still around. I'm sort of desperate for interaction with Toaru fans. So I rejoined it under a new account because I completely forgot I had the old one. So I joined it probably later in 2019. Probably not a month after he uploaded it, but late 2019. That's whenever I joined Toaru amino proper. And I just made some posts on there. And then somebody invited me to one of the chats, and that's whenever I sort of became more proactive. But yeah, that's where I came from.
Well, did you ever tell me this story? Because I vaguely remember it, but
I told you that I found the amino once through your Kamijo Toma character analysis, which at the time I remembered it being a defense of him video rather than a character analysis, but I probably misremembered.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, that was literally one of the random Toaru videos I just made like spontaneously. This was like, a while ago. I made a video while I was still at uni, when I was still at university. So, but all my videos that I made, post, the ones that you're probably familiar with, I started making 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. Those were like afterwards or like during the coronavirus pandemic. So But yeah, that was just like one time where I was like bored or whatever, and I can't remember the exact reason why I made it, but yeah, I just wanted to make a video about Toma for some reason. But yeah, it's kind of crazy that people actually join the amino thanks to that. But the amount of requests I still get for like to remake that video and do like a proper Toma analysis, because that video wasn't scripted or anything. That was just me rambling off the top of my head. in person as well. Like it was no editing or anything. It was just my face and the camera. But yeah, it could have been a better video to entice you to join. But
I mean, I was just desperate for any interactions in general. So whatever works, and it worked.
yeah. But yeah, then you eventually became a curator.
No,
Or was
I
it
don't
leader?
think so.
Was it leader? Were you
I don't think I
instinctively
ever
leader?
got. I don't think I ever got any sort of mod status.
Oh, did you not?
No,
I swear I did.
I don't think so.
Oh, damn. I should have gave you a promotion. Because mistakes were made elsewhere when it comes to like leadership. Because
Well,
because there was a mismatch of people who joined as curator at the end,
mhm.
so it's all blurring together. But
But
yeah, Style, when did you rejoin and come back to life?
I mean, it's done that twice. Come back to life. I mean, obviously there was
I mean,
first.
like
I
Toaru
mean,
Amino.
yeah, with the. Let me go back. I mean, obviously I couldn't join at first because I couldn't download the update. I remember that. I didn't join until 6 months later or down the line, or it might have been 5 months. And then I believe I came off it after a year and a half, and then I had like nearly. I think I came off Toaru Amino for about nearly 1 years, or 1 or 2 years, and then obviously now I've come back doing the same thing I've always been doing. I mean, yeah, that'd be very much go on from that. That's what I can remember. I mean, I didn't. I think my second time I joined, I didn't do much interactions at the time because I won't go into detail. Something happened, but other than that, I kept to myself. So I had no idea what was going on behind the walls of the Toaru Amino. Nor did I know what was going on screen, and what was actually going on. But I remember it being lively. I remember it being very lively at one point, and it was brilliant.
Yeah, it was
just seeing
actually
all
pretty
that.
popular. Yeah.
It was very, like, I remember you'd have like nearly 30 to 40 people online on just for one. That's a good day, unless it was more.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. Although it is like a shame that at times it wasn't, just some individuals weren't, very well behaved, and yeah, it's a shame about some of the stuff that happened, especially to you, Style.
But hey, I got over that. I didn't got myself back into the game. I didn't want that to be, because when I was off, I actually missed being in the Toaru community, because it was the only place where I knew I could talk to people about the series. Because when I came off the Toaru Amino, I was back in the anime community instead, and I wasn't really going. Didn't want to join back due to that reason. But then, yeah, I started missing the community. I wanted to come back, and I'm glad I did. But when I did come back, obviously nowadays it's not as lively as it used to be.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't see anyone, like you wouldn't see any much vlogs nowadays, and anything you will see is just me just spamming a lot of fan art because I still love doing that. Which I don't know how long that phase will, how long this phase will last, but at the moment right now, still as it stands, I'm still enjoying what I'm doing, the whole fan art sharing. But yeah, no, I'm just think of anything at the moment because I'm assuming. I mean, you knew more what was going on in the background, didn't you?
Yeah, of course. I was hearing all sorts of things. There was definitely a lot of drama from time to time. I don't know how much we're going to talk about it.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, not just the thing with you, but also like the things with other people as well. Like there was definitely no shortage of trouble. But yeah, thank God he did come back, man, because I think things have just been better and better, and it's just move on from the messed up stuff in the past.
Yeah, I mean it's gotten better now, but I mean obviously, well, in terms of activity, what people that are on at the moment is obviously not great, but you still get the odd occasion. Like a good day on Toaru Amino today would be at least a good 6 to 7 people online now. That's how dead it's starting to become, but I shall refuse and keep it alive as much as I can. Just to see it's not completely dead.
Yeah, because I feel like Amino as a platform as a whole is just completely tanked. I mean, it kind of coincided with like the downfall of Toaru Amino, because if you guys didn't know, this didn't like happen naturally, really. There was a big like drama event in Toaru Amino between me and another one of the leaders, and that drama escalated to like toxic levels where people were like hearing like different sides of a story, and then basically deciding to leave and join the other person's community or stay with me, depending on what they chose to believe. And yeah, I won't go into too much detail about this. I mean, I could. What do you think, Malcolm?
It's a very complex. I'm one of the people who have one of the most complete pictures of the entire situation. And it's such a web of stories and accusations, and it would take literally hours to even like fully explain the entire situation to give people a full picture. I think
you could make like what's it called, Gino Samuel style documentary about it. Like the Christian one.
Maybe someday.
The great Toaru Amino War.
I double checked. I joined in February 2019 on my main account. So that was 3 years, 99 days ago. So I joined 5 days after you uploaded your Toma video.
Nice. But yeah. It was such a lively, active community. Like you'd get like people posting constantly in the chat. But yeah, Amino just, as I said, just crashed. And so it happened at a perfect time. And I think without that, I probably wouldn't be making YouTube videos either, because I thought, I've got the experience of like making like blogs, because that's what I used to do. I used to make like a shit ton of Toaru blogs, talking about the characters, talking about story, talking about some of the themes, some of the interesting things. And some of my videos have actually been inspired by those original blogs. Like my Alistair character analysis, for example. I already written like a bunch of, paragraphs about Alistair, and I used some of those for my script in that character analysis video. So that's just one example. But yeah, I made a bunch of theories as well. Like, so that definitely got me into gear when it came to like script writing when I, started YouTube. Or I should say when I, started doing YouTube frequently, because technically I started my YouTube in 2010. So how crazy is that? But that was when I was, this was literally my account I was using in school.
A Halo YouTuber.
I don't know. I was a Halo YouTuber. I feel like that's a stretch because, okay, like I was like, I loved Halo when I was in school. Like I was called the Halo nerd because no one played Halo apart from me and like a few others. So everyone else played Call of Duty or FIFA. So I was a weird kid who played Halo, who obsessed over it. So yeah, I made those, you know, it was called the Halo Map of the Month series. So like when I first started that series, like I was like saying, okay, every month I'm gonna go on Bungie.net, upload to my file share on Halo Reach, and then I'm gonna record some gameplay of a cool Forge map on custom games. And I'm going to showcase a map off every week so the community can then go, oh, yeah, that's a cool map. I'm going to download it, go onto my file share. There it is. And then you can play it yourself. It didn't go that smoothly because it was called Halo Map of the Month, but it ended up being Halo Map of whenever I feel like it.
You should have uploaded the squeaker videos whenever you go up against any squeakers. You just make fun of them and get 1 million views. That's how old school YouTube worked.
Oh yeah, that was like when I don't know if you're familiar with this channel, but it's called like Good Grief or Good Griefing, and it's basically like a bunch of guys playing like Halo or Call of Duty and pranking people, just finding squeakers and doing like they also do like pretend to be like people, like you know, like one of them was like pretending to be like Christopher Walken or
yeah, okay, yeah, I 100% remember this channel.
yeah yeah. I can't remember who else they pretended to be. It's been too long, but yeah. But I definitely watched their content back in the day, and yeah, they also did about like betrayals. Like I made a Halo betrayals video as well in Growth Ball, so that was like directly inspired from Good Griefing as well. But Good Griefing is like dead now. Like they died a painful death, like their channel, like years ago. But yeah, so yeah, I also made that. I also made like, you guys familiar with Go Animate?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
So I made like a really cringy series.
Oh no.
So I was like with Go Animate, but I was like really into like South Park and like Family Guy at the time. So I basically made like my own version of it called Ted and Dave. And it was just like these Go Animate characters, just like the most immature humor you can ever think of, just like swearing, just like slurs at each other, just like trying to find like magical like condoms and shit. I was just like. Like this was the kind of like mindset of what I thought was funny when I was like 13, 14 years old.
Someone will cancel you probably if it ever.
Oh, I'd get cancelled. Like literally, if people managed to get that shit back up somehow, I'd be cancelled. Nah, I wouldn't. I literally like the environment I was raised like at school. It was messed up. Just any phobia you can think of probably existed in my school year.
Yeah, well, like, it's a British school, so
it was absolutely savage. It was unreal. Like it's
different
not an environment
times.
You would want. Yeah, it's not an environment you want your kids to grow up in, because literally I didn't like when I joined like this high school or secondary school, which we call it in the UK. I didn't know like hardly any swear words. Oh, but by the time of my like first month, I probably knew all the swear words you could think of. Like it was that kind of school. Like it literally destroyed my innocence in like a second when I was like 11 years old. So yeah, and then once you're like fed that culture every day, where you just have like the R word or just like calling people gay as an insult and stuff like that, like it just becomes ingrained in you becoming like a sheep, wanting to fit in with that culture. Otherwise you just get alienated and you just get treated like shit. I mean, you get treated like shit anyway.
Yeah,
but that's the kind of environment, that the toxic environment that was just persisted at that school, and that definitely affected me in like my younger years. So it took me like a while to mature and get out of that.
Yeah, everything I learned, it was from the Mexican kids on the school bus. That's how I learned all my swears and slurs.
Fair. Style, what was your school like?
were
you just smoking every day in the corner?
I mean, no. Honestly, was just listening. Going back into my school days, I would call it a very, very typical school, with like your usual popular kids and everything, nerds. I mean, I remember I spent like 2 years when I first moved into secondary. I didn't really mingle with anyone at the moment because, I mean, at the time I didn't really understand concept of being social. Because I just wanted to, because I was, part of my language, I was a little shit back in primary school. And then when I went up to secondary, I had to tone it down a bit. And I realised, this is actually quite lonely. I'm going to be with some people. So I tried to keep my silliness to not overbearing, but still overbearing, to say the least. I remember I got very friends with somebody, and then he introduced me into the nerd group. And then I didn't realise there was actually a whole massive group of us. So I just sort of just pushed myself in the corner, and just like, yeah, I'm going to stay here now. There's more of us and there's more of you. And what else was I? I was annoying. I didn't like how I was when I was a kid. I would have just told myself, look, just get yourself straight, man. Like, this isn't actually funny. So I remember I really pissed off a lot of people, but I never actually got into any fights about it. I don't know how, unless I was oblivious, but I definitely never did for it. And then when I kept it with the nerd group until the whole thing would end, until sixth form would come up. And then that was then when I was introduced into anime. And I remember I was watching Black Rock Shooter in the canteen area, and I was surprised by how no one was actually bothering me about this. But then I realised when I look back now, I think to myself, wow, I look like a creep doing that. Because obviously in my school, like, that's not normal. You don't sit there and watch anime. You're meant to be doing shit, or you're meant to be listening to the latest music. And it was so annoying when people kept talking about Eminem and all this. I'm like, I don't care.
Let me watch Black Rock Shooter. I don't care about Eminem.
yeah, I don't care. I just want to see a girl flip around with a giant gun and sword and just be like impaled so many times.
I remember watching that and just being so confused what was happening. Like, I finished it, but I was just like, I don't even know what I watched.
Yeah, because I was getting annoyed with my sixth form coursework. I can't be asked to do it, so I just watched something that would just turn on my brain. Which it worked. It worked like a charm.
At sixth form, I was like similar in the fact that I really hated law class because I didn't like law in my first year, and it was just a point where I was like, this is so boring and I hate it. I just can't be asked going anymore. So me and my friend will like walk like 40 minutes to like the park and then 40 minutes back just to like avoid it, and we just mess around there. And literally they had to call like home because I like skipped too many classes, and my mum and my brother had to go in, and with the head of the department as well. And I literally just said to like the teacher, just like, your class is boring. But yeah, I just remember there was also, I did other YouTube videos as well. Like I almost became like a Naruto channel, I swear.
Oh gosh.
What?
Can you believe that? Yeah, I almost became a Naruto channel because prior to my weeb renaissance in when I was 16, like the only anime I like followed into my early teens, because you know you grow out of like Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon. was Naruto, because I grew up watching Naruto when I was young, and then I played like Storm 2, so that's what got me back into it. So I got into like Shippuden, and then I made like a Naruto theory video about, because I didn't want like Toby to be this character. I'm not gonna spoil it if you haven't seen Naruto. So I was like saying, "Oh, he's this character instead." And I also made a YouTube channel where I do like Naruto Storm gameplay. And I think it's still up. I think it's called like Boss Toby Productions. I've got on it. I've got on it. It's so bad. I deleted most of the videos, I think, luckily, but it's just a shitty Obito AMV, which I didn't edit at all, really, apart from just putting mute. I literally just sped up like the episode, and then I just slapped a music track on it that was saved on my sister's PC, and I was like, "Yep, this is good to go." And the other one is just like a copyright infringing, like
good old days.
Opening 15. You know what my banner says? It says "Boss Gaming Troll Be Style."
Oh man.
Oh god. But yeah. So I literally did like those 3 things. Halo initially, then Go Animate, and then Naruto. And then that was it. I didn't do any other things, I don't think, on YouTube. Yeah.
Wow.
There's a history lesson for you.
Fascinating stuff.
Yeah, the Aeon lore. You're getting so much lore in this video.
Whew. So, the Toaru amino.
Yeah, we went off topic. But it's fine.
Yeah, honestly.
This is the backstory art for a reason. We're still about all the backstory. Is there anything you'd like to mention about it, Mal?
About the Toaru amino?
Yeah, is there something we haven't talked about yet?
I mean, there's just so much regarding the Toaru amino. I think there's a lot of people, I think, in the fandom, particularly on Twitter, that probably got their start on the Toaru amino, or like that's where they like sort of made their first entry into the greater fandom. Pretty sure there's Didi. He, I'm pretty sure, started with the amino.
Hell yeah.
There was they haven't posted in a while, but there's a channel on here that's Worst Productions or Worst Studio.
Yes. Good channel.
They haven't uploaded in 7 months, which makes me very sad. But
oh dear.
She started on the Toaru amino. There's a good few who started there. I know some of the members of the Toaru Facebook group, I'm pretty sure, popped in from time to time. I mean, I'm not really sure what to say. This is y'all's story, and I'm just a part of it.
What are you talking about? This was meant to be your part. Like,
but I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
This is the Malcolm
I told you
section.
how I joined. Okay. So I joined the chats, right? I made some memes here and there, posted some posts. I think my very first post on the Toaru amino, at least one of the first ones, was it was who would win in a fight, Misaka Makoto or Sonichu?
Are you serious?
Yeah, that was, I'm pretty sure, my first post. And because it was funny. And it was also to check and see how based the members of the amino were, if they knew what a Chris Chan was.
Yeah, at that time I wouldn't got that reference at all. I was just like, Sonshu, what is that?
See, so it wasn't a very based amino when I joined.
No, because we weren't exposed to degeneracy.
Yeah, I know.
I'm exposed to it now. Now I know what it is. I know what Chris Chan is.
Yeah, well, that's wait, I wonder if I can find it.
I
Just
mean, I
type
always
in
heard about Chris
Toaru
Chan. Like, I know
amino
his or her name kept popping up back in the day, but
hits.
I didn't like do any research into who they were.
Okay, yeah. It was called "Calling All True and Honest Fans." That was the name of the post, and I made it the day I joined. I think. No, it was a month after I joined. Yeah, I was basically trying to get everybody to vote for Sonichu because I thought it was funnier. But Sonichu lost by a couple points. Oh yeah, Trashman was also on it from Sunny in Philadelphia. He won.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was my verse battle post. That was a verse battle.
Ultimate power scaling, of course.
Yeah, we had the scale. But we all know Sonichu would be able to solo the entire Toaru universe.
Yeah, that's something else I can talk about actually, because I didn't just, make Toaru Amino, because I joined some other ones as well, and one of them was called Versus Battle Amino. And that was basically the power scaling versus thing. So I'd constantly use like Toaru characters in debates and stuff. It's literally the most waste of time thing you can actually do with your life is actually debate which fictional character is the strongest. Like the amount of hours I wasted doing that, I could have done so many videos probably. But I wasn't, this is my regret. Like looking back, I was thinking, oh shit, I could have made YouTube videos back then. But no, I had to waste time sending walls of text, finding the right passages in the novel to send, finding the right manga panels to send to evidence to prove my character can do this. Like
just for them to try and find some minor issue to make it pointless.
Then get some guy who's probably to judge the debate, who's probably friends with the guy who you're debating, so you're going to lose automatically.
Yeah.
But this is why, because I know there are some Toaru power scalers who exist who have been like, Aeon, debate me, and send me literally, there's been one guy, I won't name him, but there's one guy who's literally sent me. Oh, actually, I'll count. I won't exaggerate. I will find the exact number. Where are we? Let's scroll down and find this man. But yeah, literally, this guy has sent me so many texts saying, Aeon, debate me. Okay, let's count. All right, one. This is just in a Discord, by the way. This could have been more in other social media. I'm not sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He sent me 10 messages saying debate me.
Well, you should just debate him. It's content. I'll moderate.
Bruh, why should I? Why? I'm a grown ass man who wants to make videos about a Chinese novel series
with
not quite Chinese cartoon, the Taiwanese moving pictures, but come on, no. Literally, what would I gain out of that? Nothing.
Well,
what would he gain out of it? Clout, attention, maybe? If he genuinely cares, it's like, come on, man. Who cares if Ophinus can solo Biagio or not? Biagio? I don't know. I always say Biagio because it's just fun to say. Biagio just makes me think of a JoJo, which is based, but yeah.
I hate whenever people call Othinus multiversal.
Why? What do you mean?
Well, the problem with the people, whenever people make that argument, they usually talk about how she can alter the universe and control the multiple phases or whatever, and they treat each individual phase like its own universe. But I think it's a very wrong interpretation because it's the way the novels describe it. It's more like layers over a singular universe. So it would be like the Infinity Gauntlet, sort of. It only works within its own universe. So you can't really argue it being multiversal in the aspect that if you leave its primary universe, it just stops working. It's not this multi-universal attachment, right? And the way the novels describe the way she controls the phases is the phases aren't individual universes. It's all part of the same universe, but she can edit it. And so, but I hear people use the phases as evidence for multiversal, and I disagree with that interpretation.
That's fair. I mean, the reason why people say it is because it's like an equivalent. Of course, the phases aren't exactly universes, they're layers of reality, but at the same time, different realities can be classed as different worlds. So,
well, the way I see multiversal is you have to be able to properly damage or do things to multiple universes, like rather than just within the boundaries of a single universe, because she never goes beyond a single universe. It's just editing. It's like editing a single document. Like you can change it infinitely, but it's always going to be a single document.
See, there are so many things that are borderline in Index that people can like disagree on. Like one of the other things is another ofteness related thing. It's like whether 50-50 ofteness is stronger than 100% ofteness or not. I know that sounds kind of stupid on paper, but it's like, because they're like, oh, 50-50 ofteness can do everything 100% ofteness can. But obviously you can't
fail at everything.
Yeah. But their also argument was like, I swear one of them said that, the 50-50 thing doesn't matter too much. And it's like, wait, why does she need Gungnir then if it doesn't matter much?
Yeah, it's so my issue with scaling and verses in general is a lot of characters, especially in Toaru, but a lot of characters it's rock, paper, scissors. But if you just look at their specs, it's like, oh, X would definitely destroy Y. But within like the sensibilities of their powers, it doesn't always work that way. But some people just go blind to pure numbers.
Yeah, to be honest, like the more I think about it, I'm not really a fan of like the 50-50 stuff in like NT8 especially. I know we're talking about New Testament here, so I'm trying to spoil it, but like thank you Ben Misika for the super chats.
Welcome to the podcast.
Yes, welcome. But yeah, it's like the fairy spell thing was like 100% failure, so often can just do the reverse of everything, and then she basically just do everything now. It's like that is like so dumb. Like how Olorus and Fiamma didn't like realize that, and how that is actually a thing. It just feels a bit poor in my opinion. But hey, the Offinus arc is perfect, right? You can't criticize the Offinus arc. No, no. Everyone knows I love the Offinus arc to death, but at the same time, like people say, "Oh, the Offinus arc is flawless, peak fiction of all time." It's like
every work of fiction can be criticized.
Yeah, there's some things a bit like shady writing wise. I think the 50-50 stuff at Offinus is a bit sketchy of how it works.
It was so confusing whenever it first showed up in
just fundamentally
Baggage City.
It just feels awkwardly written, like the fairy spell especially. Like that just feels like such an ass-pull move that that she can just that how they didn't realize that she could do that as well. Like these are meant to be intelligent characters, but whatever.
But you know, the whole stories are built on these kinds of things. Like every story needs something that just happens that seems super unlikely to properly progress.
Yeah, of course. But I know it's just like a minority of Index fans who just want to not even fans at this point where they just like crap on like everything that comes out that's new, and they don't even like evaluate like their own arcs which they fanboy about. Because I will look at the arcs which I love and I'm like I will try and find things I don't like about them.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like they find one flaw and now the entire thing is bad. And it's like every story has one or like a few flaws, and to hyper fixate on them in order to make an argument for why something is bad, I think is just it's sort of an ignorant way of looking at writing in general. Because I can go back to like Dante's Inferno or to the Odyssey, or the like the Odyssey, or there's just, you can look at every single classic piece of literature that sort of shaped how we write today, and there's flaws. That's just an unavoidable aspect of writing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I just go into every index volume wanting to enjoy it. Like, I don't go into index volume thinking, oh, I need to hate on this, or I'm actively looking for it to be bad. I don't ever do that. So that's why when I like read Biohacker and I didn't enjoy it, like, because I know like Emerald made a video on Biohacker recently, and I enjoyed some of his points. Like, some of his points were good. I was like, oh, he makes some good points there. Like about how Toma's different to, you know, his pre-memory loss to how he's now, where he's, you know, more selfish in a way that he's trying to preserve himself and his own happiness, and he's only doing it so he doesn't feel bad, you know, to help people. Or like the stuff with Mitsu Ariayu and like the parallels there. Like, yeah, it made me like think more about the volume and enjoy it more. And it can happen. Like, you can not enjoy a volume and then just retrospectively look at it and think, yeah, maybe it is better than I initially thought. Or
and now
whatever.
You have a respect for AU's armpits.
No. But still, like, I still stand by my criticisms of Biohacker. I still think just like some of the situations in the build-up are like, Toma gets away so luckily. Like, Toma's luck was like crazy in that volume with like the dragon and the stuff. Not the dragon people are thinking of. But and then like the emotional weight behind Mitsuari, like, I don't know why I don't really get why she cares about Toma so much, or she expects him to be there. And I like the, you know, the lore and stuff, but that we got with like Beginning Child. But there just wasn't enough there for me.
Right.
In terms of like an antagonist, because like the Beginning Child doesn't even speak or anything. She's just like, and then you get the mad scientist guy, and he's just like, yes, Toonie, not Toonie. Emerald mentioned it. Not Toonie. Sorry, Toonie. Emerald mentioned it, like saying, "Oh yeah, he's just a generic mad scientist guy," and it's like, "Yep, even more generic than Gensei."
That's weird. Why are we talking about a backstory arc on this backstory arc podcast?
What? It's perfect. I know it's meant to be our backstory arc, but you know, we can just go with the flow and see where it ends up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did want to enjoy like Biohacker, but it's just things about it I just can't look past.
I enjoyed it, and I wasn't too bothered by some of the more fan service-y nature of it.
Yeah, thighs every line.
I chose to interpret it as representative of sort of Toma being a younger, more hormonal teenager, because this was taking place, you know, he's in like middle school, and it's just, that's sort of how I interpret it. Is it's supposed to be representative of that, because I don't think we didn't really get much into what Toma thought in T11, because it was from Misaki's perspective. But I think it sort of, for the most part, it made sense, like, as representative of that. But it was a bit, you know, heavy-handed, more than I personally would have preferred. But that's sort of my cope.
It's just like the phone call, man. Like Toma's phone could have just like run out of battery or something.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, I can't ring him right now. I guess he doesn't care. Bye bye, world. It's just like, what? Come on. I
What
get
the hell?
I get it. I get that Mitsuari Ayu is meant to be a flawed character. You know, she's very insecure. But how far can you take it? How far can you take her character flaws and insecurities where it becomes a bit far-fetched? And that's like my point.
I didn't think it was that weird. She was sort of like mind broken at this point in the story, and it was very much like she was leaving it to fate. Like, if he answers, then fate wants me to have this, but if he doesn't, then fate is taking. Because I mean, we got some more of her backstory in Astral Buddy and stuff, and she's already had like this whole sort of tragic background. So I think this was just sort of the what is it? The whatever that broke the camel's back. It's like the twig that broke the camel's back or whatever. It was just then that she finally, it was like a coin flip is how I see it. Is her phone call was her flipping a coin. Like, if he answers, I live. If he doesn't answer, I jump. And that's what fate dictates.
And then it's the same thing where she's like, Toma is entitled to Toma has got to be the man to save me at this point. But it's got to be him. He's the only one that can do it.
It was like it did add a lot to NT11. Like, it made sort of the
don't get me wrong,
traumatic. Like, it added a lot of tragedy to Toma and Misaki's relationship to that, because like he was searching for Ayu that whole time, and it's like, oh man, he like feels like he failed, and he's probably projecting Ayu onto Misaki.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, I don't think it's like the worst volume of Index, but I'd rather it exist than not exist, because when it was announced, I was like really hyped for it. I was like, yes, finally we get to see this backstory, which I've wanted to know about for ages. But yeah, it just did not live up to my hype. But at the same time, yeah, I do think the parts of it that are good, because it's not all bad. It's got some good points. I don't think it's either black or white. I think it can be grey. So it's definitely a great volume for me. There's some things I like about it, some things I don't like, and yeah, I do agree the parts that do flesh out the relationships and stuff do help New Testament 11. But yeah, have you even read Biohacker Style?
No, not yet.
I mean, you're like far into NT as well. You're like near the end of NT.
Yeah.
So I suppose you could read it. 'Cause it does help with like New Testament 11 a bit, like the villain in that. If you remember.
Yeah,
her.
because when I thought, Mitsu Ayu.
Yeah, Ayu. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I remember because I was keeping up with the Astral Buddy manga, so I knew who she was. That was when I was introduced to her character. But then apparently she was already known, so I was like, oh, I have to quickly Google it just so I know who she is first. I was like, oh, okay, this is who you are. Yeah, no, like I still plan to. I do need to visit that at some point with Biohacker and with the SS volumes as well. Like, there's so much I need to catch up on. Yeah.
Have you not read SS1 and SS2?
No.
OTSS1 and SS2?
Are you legit? You haven't read Index SS1 and SS2?
No.
Bro, you need to get on that. That's some important stuff.
You do realize like the last 2 episodes at the end of Index Season 2 are like Index SS?
And it's a watered down version of that.
And that introduces Hamazura.
Oh. Yeah, I was wondering how hard I got into ice. I'm like, how did you get there exactly? But I went
SF2 introduced Seria and Gunha and all of them too.
Bro, I literally on Amino. You can go on Amino, go on the fucking pin tweet. It's probably still there, and you can find the reading order for the Toaru series. And you meant to read SS1 after volume 13, is it?
I think
volume
so.
13.
I wasn't
Of
going by the
OT.
order.
OT.
How dare you read it by the order of volumes numbers and not by the order that you were told to
Style,
by
that's a crime.
fans?
Get out of this podcast now and read that shit. Come back.
No, it's my homework.
SS1 and SS2. And SS2 has Sugita in it as well.
Oh yeah. I heard about Sugita being in SS2.
Yeah, Sugita
That was a
and
lot.
Walrus.
Yeah. Oh my god, I can't believe this.
I know. Shame.
This is a shameful moment.
That you haven't
I
even
can't
read the
believe you're on,
love
like,
letter
New Testament
SS.
21 and not read the 2 SS not volumes. Like,
Have you read all the SS's, Alistair? Or Aeon?
yeah. I've read all the canon.
You've read Love Letter?
Yes, I think so. A long time ago. I can't really remember it that well.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I've literally read all the Toaru canon. Well, I'm not caught up because I haven't read the latest Mental Act chapter yet, or the little preview of the Railgun SS volume that's come out.
Have you
but I
read
need to do
Virtual
that.
On yet?
No, but that's not
Not
canon.
a real fan. Not a real fan. Get
I
off the
will. All right.
podcast.
No, that's not canon, though. That's not
Oh,
canon.
no,
I read
it's
all the
canon in my heart.
I'll
You know
read
what?
it, though, 'cause
It's got a light novel. It's got a video game. It's got a manga adaptation. That's as canon as it gets.
just making the money's worth out of the collaboration.
Exactly.
That's the only reason. Still waiting for like another Toaru collaboration, which isn't something from Imaginary Fest, because they literally did a rerun of like the Shakugan no Shana event in Imaginary Fest, and it's like, Jesus, they really are running out of ideas for this.
Yeah, when are
So-
they going to do an Oremo event?
Oremo.
I mean, we had an
No.
actual story that got an actual novel, so you know.
You know, there's actually a fan. I think I know who it is. Is it Seven Eves who got into Toaru because of that?
Yep, I know. Yeah,
That's,
Seven
That's
Eves.
crazy.
Seven Eve's favorite GT novel was in GT4, so he's got
Yeah.
a very interesting takes on on the novels.
Yeah, 'cause he said it reminded him of Heavy Objects, and he could appreciate that
Yeah.
aspect of it.
Yeah, well, Heavy Object's awesome. Everyone should be legally required to read that, or else they're not a true Toaru fan. Because you know, it's a Heavy Object is a Toaru SS. If y'all didn't know, there's been crossovers. It's canon. It's in the same universe. Surely Alistair's read him. Aeon, you read him, right?
I have not. No,
Fake fan. I'll be taking over this.
I've
channel
watched
now.
season 1 of the anime.
Well, time to start with book 4, I think.
I didn't really enjoy the anime that much, though. I was like, this is real. This doesn't feel like a war zone. This feels
It's
really
two.
lighthearted,
It's two
tongue-in-cheek.
bros taking out giant monster nuke tanks.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm like, this does not feel like I'm watching a series about war. This is too, I don't know,
See,
lighthearted, but it's just too like silly. I guess silly would be the word. It's just too silly for me to say, oh yeah, this is a serious show about war. I was like, but that was just
Well-
my thoughts from watching the anime. I could be wrong about the novel, but
Well, to be fair, you have to have a very high IQ to understand Heavy Object.
just why all the pilots like lollies.
You see, well, the humor is extremely subtle, and without a solid grasp on theoretical physics, most of the jokes will go over a typical viewer's head. It's also Quinter's nihilistic outlook, which is deftly woven into his characterization. His personal philosophy draws heavily from Kamachi literature. For instance, the fans understand this stuff. They have the intellectual capacity to fully appreciate the depths of these jokes, to realize that they're not just funny, they say something deep about life. As a consequence, people who dislike Heavy Object truly are idiots. Of course, they wouldn't appreciate, for instance, the humor of Quinther's existential catchphrase, "Wubba wubba lubba dub dub," which itself is a cryptic reference to
Bro.
Kamachi literature. Okay, I can't keep going.
Did you just make that up on the spot, or is that like a copy pasta?
It's the Rick and Morty copy pasta.
All right. Well, legit though, just because like the Kamachi verse novels exist, where it's like all the Kamachi series combined to like this MCU type thing, it does make me want to like read all of them just to like see what it's like these crazy crossover volumes. But at the same time, like I didn't enjoy Zashiki Ruwashi, so I'm just like, is this worth it?
You should read Zombie Little Sister, Vampire Big Sister.
Oh god.
There are some really interesting things Kamachi does with monster lore that I did enjoy.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just a lot, isn't it? It's just so many. I mean, Index is the biggest series he's written, but
it's also his most average series because Heavy Object exists, and so does Blood Signs, which are both better.
If you say so.
Yeah.
Reflect, I think that's how you say it with those numbers in, has given a super chat. Thank you. Should I read Game of Thrones? I think that's what he means by got. At least that's what I interpreted as. Or continue Index. I've not read Game of Thrones, but I watched the series, and it turned bad in the end, didn't it? Well, they did stray away from the books.
I think it went because I think the books were still ongoing when the I almost called it an anime. The TV show ended.
I mean, let's face it. What's the guy who writes it? What's he called again? That old guy.
Kazuma Kamachi.
No, I want to Game of Thrones.
Kamachi didn't write Game of Thrones.
Well, what's he called? I can't believe I've forgotten his name.
George.
Oh yeah, R.R. Martin.
George R. I almost called him George Lucas. George R.R. Martin, I think.
Yeah, that guy. I mean, he's probably not going to write the next volume of Game of Thrones. Let's face it.
Yeah, though at the same time, it's not like Index will ever end.
Yeah, but at least you got consistent amount of content coming in. Like, imagine if George R.R. Martin had like Kamachi's work ethic.
That'd be then Game of Thrones would never end in a different way.
Probably wouldn't have ended at all. They'd probably be like, oh hell yeah, we can keep this going forever. Keep getting the monies. Yeah, I think it depends if you. I mean, eventually you'll hit a brick wall with Game of Thrones, and you'll just be like, oh, now I've got to wait an eternity to get there. Or you can continue Index and be like, oh yeah, I know when GT7 is going to roughly come out later this year, probably.
You do Index, you get infinite content.
Yeah, because if you catch up to Game of Thrones, you're just going to be like sitting there like, oh no, what am I going to do now? And by the time the next volume does come out of that, or next book, I should say, you'll be like, oh no, I've forgotten what's happened now because it's been years ago. And you have to read them again. So I think, I'm not biased, by the way. I think you should continue Index.
You should read Harry Potter. It's the better series.
Oh yeah, great. You know, I'm British, and I think Harry Potter is really badly written.
What? A homeless lady writing a bad story?
What are your opinions of Harry Potter style? Do you like Harry Potter?
Films are alright. I've never read the books. I've been told and drilled and literally tortured to go and read the books. I was like, no, I don't really want to, because I'd already finished all the films, and at that point I was like, I don't really care anymore.
To be required British reading.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, no, the main bad guys are dead. Like, I don't really get it all. It was one of the series that Harry Potter was never really a series that I got into that I wanted to know more about. It's like with Index. When I first watched the anime, I was like, oh, I want to know more. That's why I went on to explore more in Index, but with the Harry Potter, it didn't really catch me to the point where I should go read the books. But I still get slandered for it.
Harry Potter popularized the idea of fantasy school, which poisoned anime for the next 30 years. So, Harry Potter is my enemy.
Hey guys, want to go to Academy City and learn how to be Aspers?
I wonder if Harry Potter was any inspiration for Index.
I've tried to use that card. I was like, with my friends, because some of my friends like Harry Potter, and I was like, Index is Harry Potter, but better.
And then they get like the first chapter and Index's clothes rip off, and you have to explain that.
Yeah, well, accidents happen. Walking churches get destroyed.
Right. Your very Catholic friend is probably like melting, looking at the nun being stripped.
Yeah, walked into like a room and there's just like some naked girl there, and they're having a shower.
The Pope is using magic.
I mean, probably.
Very biblically accurate.
Yeah, because all Christians love the idea of magic, right?
Right. It's not like the Bible strictly forbade that.
I don't know. It's okay when Jesus does it, but anyone else, like, oh, nah. Or I guess Moses.
Well, no.
I guess Moses called upon the power of God, so technically it was God.
You sort of have to argue, does miracles count as a type of magic? Which in Index, it doesn't. As we saw in, because Toma couldn't cancel out the miracles in Endymion.
Yeah. But you can cancel out Fiamma's magic. And Fiamma's magic is meant to be miracles, right?
I don't quite know. It's definitely not.
Or I should say, you can perform any miracle in the Bible, but I guess it depends.
Yeah, but it's probably like, in a way, maybe related more to idol theory, like recreating it versus like actually doing that specific method.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I've also seen someone say that because it's stated that Fiamma can perform any miracle in the Bible, he can basically just do the entire like first few pages of Genesis and create the universe. And I'm like, I don't know.
I guess you have. Does it count if it's like literally God doing it? Like if it's if it's an act of God, not through a human, it doesn't count as a miracle.
Because I think later on, does it say that it has to be miracles performed with the right hand? And God doesn't really technically have hands.
I mean, if you're made in the
as the old
image
man,
of God.
Yeah. Yeah, unless he's in his old man form, but God's meant to be, transcendent, and he's not meant to have. That's not meant to be his real form, right?
I mean, you can also interpret like doing the acts through angels who can take on a human form.
Yeah, because with miracles performed by the right hand, it's meant to be, like Archangel Michael and Jesus, and I don't know, some other people.
And there's also always the possibility it doesn't mean a literal hand, but rather like hand as in an act. Like you I think it can be very broadly interpreted.
Yeah, because it also comes down to like, what have we seen him actually do? What has he actually demonstrated? And then it's like, oh, if he's only demonstrated the ability to destroy a planet, it's like, oh, okay. Now we have to assume he can do much more than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, enough about power scaling.
Power scaling characters, the god.
It's a disease.
Yes, it is. It's unavoidable.
We're still waiting for like church people to discover Index and get mad about it.
Yeah, well, it's Japanese, so yeah, it's 1% of the population. The church doesn't really go around canceling series like it used to.
Yeah. Because remember, like, the time when, like, video games were starting to, you know, get more popular in, like 2000s, then it was, like, more of a thing, I guess, with, like, violence and stuff.
Yeah, after Pokemon, the sort of church canceling stuff sort of slowly died out.
So Toaru amino was a thing.
Yeah, it's also speaking of Toaru amino, that's where I also started using the profile pic I use currently. There's a bit of a story to that. Yes.
Go on.
All right. So there was a contest. I don't remember what it was called exactly, but there was a contest and you submit, I think the most underrated character you could think of, right? And I just sort of wanted to troll. So I took, so I wanted to throw people off, right? So I started off and I showed a picture of Ogami, like at his chair, and I was like, okay, I'm going to make people think I'm talking about Ogami, and then like slowly just reveal that I'm actually talking about the random background character sitting behind him as the most underrated character. And then I just sort of like fanficked this whole backstory onto him, into which like he was present in everything ever from the beginning of Toaru. And he's like, he's actually La Persona Superior A Dio. And it's just, I photoshopped a bunch of the Index covers to include him in the background on him. So he's basically the girl with the headband. Wait, I can just... This is in the private chat. This is the link to what it was.
Let's have a look.
But it's like, I just made it up as I went along. And it just kept getting ridiculous. And it was like,
wow, he appears in season 3 as well.
Yes.
Oh wow!
I didn't forget about him. How many shots of him are there?
Like 2.
Only 2.
I played it off
the entire anime.
I played it off as like they just left him out of the anime, and it was a really bad decision because he's so important in the story. And it was just, wait, let me just, near the end, it's like, okay, yeah. So in NT22R just came out, right? And so I had included him in that. And I was just like, as the cover of this volume hints at his cold stare, male student B knew all along that Toma at the party was... Actually, I don't know if I can even say that because it's a bit of a spoiler. But everyone knows, but it's a spoiler. But it's like, it was after this fight that Anna Springle showed up and revealed male student B's other name, La Persona Superior A Dio. And it was just a bunch of stuff like that. Like, he fought Olaris in order so Toma could escape with Othanus in T10. And it's just, I just made up a bunch of stuff as I went along. It was a very fun writing project.
And here we are today, where male student B is now donning Fuyama's garments in the thumbnail.
Yes. It was more like, I just always thought he sort of seemed weirdly detailed, I guess, in that one shot. That I was always just like, yeah, he just stood out. And it was just sort of a funny thing to play off of.
And Style, I had to ask, where did your character come from?
Well, I mean, my character came from it came from this light novel series called Index.
Never heard of it.
And if you have time, I strongly recommend. Believe me, trust me.
I'm too busy reading Heavy Object and Harry Potter.
Oh god, that's fine. It's fine. I mean, you can ditch Harry Potter. Index could be the priority at this point. I mean, yeah, like my character. Well, he was would say he was like male student B, but he was more sort of involved in the stories of Index. And I remember that he was chasing this little girl in a nun's outfit, whilst also partnered up with a quite attractive tall woman with a giant sword. I mean, not sword, sorry, a katana. Chasing her over roofs, and then he's decided to take on this boy with a weird right arm. But then he lost. I know, but it gets better because he's not just a normal, regular, red-headed guy. Like, he controls fire, and he was actually the first guy to fully display magic in the Index series. So, and then he also summoned this like demon-looking thing called Inokentius. But obviously, the story had to progress, so he had to lose against this character called Toma. Purely so the story could progress with. Yeah, totally. Like, completely let them win. But then it turns out it gets more deeper than that. But that's where I shall stop, and you'll have to go more because trust me, man, it's amazing.
Oh, thank you for that story. I've honestly never heard of him before.
I'll have to check out this Index series.
I mean, he does have a bit of a bad habit of smoking a lot, but it turns out his smoking habits is actually he's sending signals apparently.
Interesting.
So he's not doing it. Yeah. Go on.
Does he have a soul? Because he's got red hair.
A skull.
A soul.
A soul.
Oh, soul.
I mean, yeah, he does have a soul. He's a human. He's just a normal, ordinary.
Yeah, but he's got the red hair though.
He just likes
He's
red hair.
very mature looking. How old is this fella? He's got to be at least 25, right?
I mean, he's. Well, you would have assumed, but he's actually not 25. He's
young looking for his age. He's 50.
No. He looks like appearance can be deceiving. He's actually meant to be 14 years old.
What? In smoking?
No way.
What do you Brits 14? Do to your children?
I mean, it's what we British kids like to do back in the day. We used to think smoking was super duper cool. I think he and he's also British as well, but he was portrayed as an American voice actor, and we don't gloss over that. Yeah, I know.
Can you actually imagine Index talking with a British accent?
No.
I just imagine like Lestar having like the filthiest chavvy accent.
You're right, Toma. You want to do it in my gob? You're right, Toma. Fancy a shag?
Style gets cancelled right after he pulls out his cigarette. Like, fancy a faggot?
Yeah.
No, we call them fags, but we don't do the full.
Yeah, we call them fags. Yeah.
Yeah. but it like in the UK, like faggot is actually like a food.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had it though. It looks disgusting.
Fascinating.
I had
Yeah.
and it tastes like wet bread.
If y'all want to know what Index would have sounded like with an English accent, just watch Black Butler and hear what Monica Rial sounds like when she speaks with a British accent, and you'll be very glad she did not do a British accent for Index.
Why is it bad?
Oh, it is the most annoying, torturous thing ever. You don't want Texans doing British accents.
Oh, I'll have to listen to this. I'm going to judge it.
Mm.
What's the character's name called? Is it
It's their maid. I can't remember what her name is.
like May? It's like May or something, isn't it?
It was
Yeah. May. Oh, it's like May. That's what it's May. May Ren. Like Butler. Dub. Like Butler funny moments dub. She should pop up in that.
surely.
She not. Oh no, she wasn't in the funny moments.
Black Butler.
She's not a maid, right?
She is a maid.
Yeah,
Maid.
I remember her because I like maids.
Dub. Grell? Is that her name? No.
Oh no, that Grell's red, but Grell isn't the maid. Grell's the weird guy. Is Grell a guy? I think he is. With like he's got like a chainsaw thing. He's a bit weird.
Oh yeah. It was
I can't find the dub. Mayrin.
British accent.
Okay, I think this is dub. Yes, this is.
All right.
Oh my god! An instructor safety in a disaster. That's what it sounded like. It sounded like exactly like an Index voice up until she said the word disaster.
Yeah.
She's pronouncing it in the Southern English way. Disaster. But since I'm from the north, I say disaster.
It was a very grueling dub to get through.
Yeah. And for some reason, fangirls really like Sebastian's voice.
In his English dub?
Yeah.
I don't know how accurate it is. I haven't listened to it forever. I just remember hers.
I mean, it's a decent accent, to be fair.
Is it?
Yeah, it's just really posh London Queen's English accent.
Nowadays, they'd probably have Connor dub him.
Oh yeah. But I never watched like dub for Black Butler, so I didn't know what it even had accents. I just watched the sub because I like doing the Sebastian. Yes, my lord. Like that. I like the way he said that. I was like, oh, that sounds cool. So I thought like his voice would sound similar to that in a dub, but I was like, oh wait, they actually do a British accent. Okay, interesting. Okay, shall we do Q&A?
Sure thing.
Yes, go for it.
Okay. So if you haven't already, I already pinned a comment. Most of you have seen it in the chat. Send questions in now if you have any questions to ask me or any of the boys. Also, like the video, even though this video is going to get deleted eventually, because as I said before, the VOD of this stream is going to be uploaded on my second channel. Link is in the description, so if you want to subscribe to my second channel, you can do in the description, and that'd be a massive good thing, massive help. And you'll be able to see the VOD there if you missed some of it. So I do recommend. Okay, shall we get started? Where are we? Okay, first question. Kamijo Medi, when will you do a video about the headband girl? Never.
What? But she's so important. She's the
Bruh.
number. She's the level 6. She's the number 6,
Yeah.
level 5.
Technically, it could do like a clickbait video, just like with like theory. Is this girl a 6th level 5 or something? But no.
You could do a video of just a bunch of the shorter theories, just a collection of all, like a not an iceberg, but just a collection of some of the fan theories.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how successful that would be. I'll think about it. How's your day been so far? Asked by Apon Jr. Apon Jr. I don't know. Who wants to go first?
I've had a day. It's not been a good day.
Oh no!
It hasn't. Yeah, it's been a sad day, but it's a day.
I'm sorry to hear that, Mal.
Yeah.
I hope we've made your day better.
Yeah. It's always fun to be on the podcast. It wasn't like I'm not going to be like moping in a corner about it. It's just some sad news.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, at least you always have Index and the boys.
Yeah, that's how I'm going to escape reality. It's my waifus
Yeah, just
and the
make
boys.
a virtual reality Academy City, then we can all go to school there.
I wonder if
Yeah.
somebody's done that in VR chat.
Then we can get experimented on by some old guys.
It sounds like fun.
Yeah. Like, wouldn't it? Because I often thought about this when I was younger. Because I was like, oh, I really want
Getting
to be in Academy
experimented
City.
on by old guys.
No, I was like thinking, oh, wouldn't it be cool if Academy City was real, but just about the nasty stuff. But I guess it wouldn't be practical in real life with all the different crazy situations that you can't really predict with the Esper powers, because obviously these children are going to abuse them.
True.
Yeah.
How was your day, Style?
Oh, it's just been trying to keep myself awake. I had to sleep at work last night, and I ended up not sleeping. So then I ended up watching the rest of the second or third part of Shaman King. And then what else did I watch? I was watching something else on Netflix. I don't remember. Oh, that's right, the Sword Art Online as well.
Oh,
So
how
I
are you
remember
liking that?
If I wasn't tired, I would have enjoyed it. But because my moment was, I don't really care. I just want to see some action, or get big boy Kirito to come back or something.
I get you.
Yeah, but I wasn't really in the mind frame to watch that show. Then if I'm gonna regret it or not. But so far the action, the whole war thing's been great. But it's just, I was cringing throughout that night. Because I'm like, oh yeah, all the characters will definitely join at some point. Who knows what's going to happen? Like, ending's going to be predictable. The only thing I did, yeah, and then obviously I was at work today, just trying to keep myself awake. And then, I asked if I could leave a bit earlier because I just couldn't function anymore. So I had to come back home. I went to sleep, and then I woke up just an hour later before the podcast was about to come up, so I would have been more awake and be able to speak somewhat normally, and just participate, do what I can, see what I can. Yeah, man, it's just been that. But I've got a day off tomorrow, so whoop whoop.
Nice. For me, I've just been editing, and then because I'm living with a family at the moment, not my family, another family. They had like a little party, and they had like some of their kids came over. Anyway, one of the kids basically loves the Switch, like Nintendo Switch, and he's gonna be playing like Mario, and he never played Smash before. So I was like, oh, I got my Switch upstairs. I'll introduce him to Smash, and oh boy. Mistakes were made because they became addicted. Literally, what? I got him on it. Then a girl joined. Then another girl joined. and literally they were on it for like hours. And the youngest kid kept bugging me, asking, "You wanna play Smash? Can we play Smash? Can I play Smash?" Literally, I'm not even joking. I don't know what I've done. I've made them obsessed. So maybe we'll see them in a few years' time at tournaments. I don't know, because this level of Smash addiction is unhealthy. Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo Switch. My God.
Well, you've just ruined their lives.
Yeah. Now they're just going to be unproductive members of society playing Smash all day.
You'll know how addicted they are depending on how they smell next time you see them.
Oh God. So yeah, eventually, I managed to escape and I finished the video I was working on. So I'll probably upload it after the stream actually. So it is a non-Toaru video though. I will put a disclaimer in there. But yeah, I'll be uploading a video after this. So more content for you guys. Hope you enjoy this video.
Cool.
But yeah, as I said, it's not Toaru, unfortunately. But hopefully, I have no idea how well it'll do. But we'll see. We'll see. This is another question. Oh wait, did he already ask the question? Oh, it's cheating. Yeah, one question each, but we'll make an exception here.
Well,
It's important.
no.
You've not read Style SS.
It's on there. I have actually no. Tell a lie. Actually, I did start it at one point. I got to well, I won't say. Actually, no, I won't go into detail. But I did start a little bit of it. But then for some reason, I stopped for a moment because this was in the middle of when I was reading New Testament, and I was enjoying a lot more of New Testament of what was going on. I think I was in New Testament 2 or 3 at the time, and I wanted to check out what the SS style was like. It looked okay. I know it started out pretty good, solid, but I need to go back and read it because I feel like I know there's more. There's going to be more to style. I'm going to learn if I ever do learn anything there, other than what the Wikipedia told me about him pregnancy.
Don't tell me you're a filthy wiki reader.
Yeah. No, I'm bad for that.
Oh,
but sometimes it works in my favors. My brain decides to say, "You have dementia now," and forget.
The Othinus arc is my favorite. I can't wait to read it someday.
It's gonna be in the future.
You've already read it though, but
yeah, I've already read it.
Anyway, yeah. Otherwise, one question each. Don't be greedy. Or you can super chat, and then you can ask as many questions as you want. Okay, next question. Captain Helix, what kinds of magic could potentially be used? Potentially. What is this asking?
I guess what kind of magic would you like to see in the series?
Oh, okay.
Witch Doctor magic.
Oh, okay. Is there anything to mind for you guys? Because I'm thinking.
That's all I could think of was witch doctors.
All right, yeah, fair. What about you, Style? Don't say fire magic.
No, that's already been done. I don't need to say that. I mean, I would like to see more. I haven't got a particular type of like. I like to see a bit more destruction-wise. Like, now let me elaborate. So, like with ice magic, for example, love to see a bit more of that. I would love to see how that would in decks, or unless it's already happened. Yeah, but yeah, that's it.
Scientology magic.
No, never
Mal, what do you think?
About the
Scientology magic.
Oh, that would be the most interesting kind of magic. I mean, it's a dangerous topic.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
It'd be funny.
The Scientologist may take out Kamachi if he goes too far.
Oh, that'd be hype. No, not them taking out Kamachi. I mean this situation.
You can also, I'm sure I've seen some people want to see like Islamic type of magic, but that may be
Yeah, controversial because they don't like the prophet being represented in a
correct
non-authorized way. Okay, I don't know if this is a rhetorical question. Tyler 7789 or 7789 says, "What if John Penn have British accent? Then it would be
truly terrifying."
Yeah.
Robot British. Kakine Enjoyer says, "Opinion on how Kamachi thinks that a common trait of foreigners is green hairs and does he green
hair?
My bad.
What?
Green hairs. That's like green eggs and ham. Green eyes and silver hair. Isn't it just like Index and Alistair that have that?
Japan has like two types of foreigners. They like to make Russians have white hair for some reason. But it's always just like blonde hair, blue eyes, and then like silver hair with usually green or blue eyes or red eyes sometimes. It's very weird. Japan has I guess Japan's just very fascinated with the ideas of like blonde and white hair because, you know, whenever you're Japanese, your default hair is black or dark brown. So I think it's just they're very popular traits. Even though silver hair is like this really weird thing, but I've seen so many anime love to use that for foreigners. But I understand why he uses it. It's blonde in particular is common. He uses with a bunch of characters who I would say he way more uses blonde hair for foreigners.
Yeah. That's what people complain about.
Yeah. Which like Index never, well, with the exception of like certain characters like Style or whatever, like it's usually he doesn't go for like really crazy hair colors and stuff. At least like compared to other anime where it's like every character's got pink and green and like purple hair. But it's, you know, it's what it is. It's just it's a Japanese thing.
Yeah. We'll do 3 more questions. Call it a day. Okay. Ben Misaka asks, do you think New Testament will get a licensed English translation? I don't, because I mean, maybe in the long-term future, in case there's a new anime comes out, but otherwise, no. Because I've been told certain things by certain people. And apparently there are no plans at the moment for that to happen.
Yeah, I've heard similar things. I don't think it'll happen. The fact that we didn't get an Index audiobook, I think, is also representative of probably you can base off Index sales numbers.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I think Index
maybe reading sorry.
Yeah, I think Index was just unfortunate in that it's one of the earlier series that Yin Press started translating before they really like went all in with light novels, or like before light novels really became more popular here. With probably because they started it before they started sword art translations. Like in 2013, 2014 is when they started the index, and I think it just missed that window of really getting early readers. It was just too niche at the time.
Yeah, it's a shame that like they're just pumping out just random isekai throw in the trash series. Like
Right.
literally taking the author like a second to come up with a concept and just like, oh yeah, just gonna write a generic fantasy story that's quirky because it's got this quirky thing going on with this isekai volume. Like, I got reincarnated into a toilet. Whoa.
Yeah, well, the guy who was in charge of Index, Yin Press has him translating one that's like, I was reincarnated as a vending machine in another world.
Just be like, nah, war between magic and science, you know, interesting concepts, you know, politics and stuff like that. Trying to, you know, avoid a war. Nah, vending machine man. Way better.
At least they finished OT. Like, they didn't just cut it off halfway.
Yeah. I mean, I'll still try and pick up more volumes, even though I've almost collected the full set. But yeah. Okay. Oh, I got another Kakine, a different Kakine. There's two of them. When do you expect Aogami to be revealed as level 5? It's so predictable. Why? I've already made a video about this. It's so predictable. Everyone knows it. Will it happen? I feel like Komachi, like people said, oh yeah, well, it's fine even if we do know it's going to happen because it'll improve Aogami as a result. However, Komachi is known for his plot twists. If you followed Index for any amount of time, you know he does like the occasional plot twist every now and then.
He's been jokingly teasing Aogami since OT with some of the side stories.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, since not Aogami, sorry. I mean, this is a spoiler alert for GT, so... but yeah, the 6th level 5 appeared briefly in GT, so I imagine we might find out by the end of it. Well, who Ihana is anyway.
I'd say by the first half of GT, that's where I'm going to place my bids. By GT 12 or GT 11.
I expect it towards near the end, to be fair. If it is going to end at volume 22 or around that mark, like it did the other two.
Right. Technically 23 for...
I know. I said around. That's why I said around.
We're going to get 24 in GT.
Maybe. Okay, last question. Unless we get super chat. Piero Colombo asks, do you think we ever get a time skip in Toaru? Like a couple of months or a year with nothing happening? I don't see it personally.
Yeah, I don't think so. I've never seen Komachi do a time skip in any of his stories other than like maybe a few weeks. And that's even a rarity.
Yeah,
Is
it's
that
just not in
everything then?
Komachi.
Oh, go on.
Yeah. I was just gonna say it's like Malcolm said, it's not in Komachi's style to do like a couple of months or a year. Like rarely do you ever get that. At best, you're probably gonna get like a week.
Usually a time skip comes along so a character can train or whatever, but we've already had Toma fighting such powerful entities and characters that like him having to get a time skip to learn or get stronger just would be weird.
And it's the most generic shonen thing you can write.
Yeah.
And it's one thing why I found Toma's character so refreshing, that he doesn't need a power up, or he doesn't need like a Bankai or anything like that.
I've seen some people say Toma should be learning how to use a sword and stuff as like a very serious criticism, and it's like if you really look at, yeah, like they're like, oh, he's so dumb. Why isn't he using a sword or whatever? And it's like, one, Index is still slightly grounded in reality. Like I'm pretty sure that Toma's still bound by like Japanese like guns and sword laws where you can't carry those around in public.
Yeah.
And two, it's just Index takes place in such a short amount of time and things are happening so often. Like, one, where's Toma gonna learn to use a sword? And two, when's he gonna have time to practice with it to realistically be good at it? Like he'd be better off getting a boxing coach. And even then it's like he's so busy. Like he's in the hospital every other day. It's not like he's gonna have time to train.
Yeah. And having a sword implies he's gonna he wants to, do proper damage to someone, potentially.
He'll
Unless
cut
he's
off
like
his own right
Kanzaki, where it's
hand.
like, I got a sword, but I'm only using it unless I have to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think Toma having a sword fits in with his character well.
He'll use the blunt end of his sword.
Yeah. Or like Kanzaki using the scabbard
Yeah.
at times. Anyway, that is all from us today. I'll repeat it again. I'll be deleting this stream. I'll do it with the future Toaru streams as well. But do not worry, because the VODs will be available on my second channel, link in the description, and I'll be uploading it there at some point soon. So, yes, and I'll be also uploading another video to this channel, but it won't be Toaru related, as I've already said. So yeah, stay tuned for more stuff going on. Also, you can follow the boys down in the description, although Kairaz wasn't able to join us for some reason. But yeah, links are all in the description, and thank you very much. And subscribe if you haven't already. Well, I'm sure most of you have already, so appreciate the support. You want to say goodbye, everyone?
Thanks, guys, for watching, and goodbye.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining, for listening.
Yes, thank you very much. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.